Agree, the flagship, only on A2D Radio. Uncle Sweeps, Nick DelGozzo, the legendary Brian Wilson, and the fucking man himself, Tom Arnone. These three guys from Jersey bringing you real talk with no agenda. You don't like them? Tough shit. It's their show, and they're going to say whatever the hell they goddamn want.
Welcome in, family. Agree, disagree. Only on A2D Radio. We're all live from our own Real Talk studios like we are every Sunday, and every Sunday we're brought to you by our doc. Make them yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Tom Arnone, Nick DelGozzo, Brian Wilson, Greg Milakovic. Everybody out there, join us. Get it off your chest night again here on Agree to Disagree. This is 2 weeks in a row where we come on and we're disappointed. We talked to Jaws at 7:30. You can go back to listen to that. And every show that we do here on A2D Radio, we're on every podcast place that's available. We're there. Like, subscribe, follow, and obviously, you know we're live now if you're listening on any platform, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. We're there, baby. We're talking to you tonight. We got a rundown of stuff, and I wish there was some positive. Well, Crumb of the week, that's not positive. Phillies playoff push, positive-ish. That's a 7th seed right now out of 8. If you don't make the playoffs this year, Matt Clintock goes. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Around the NFL week 2. Listen, a lot of injuries today to touch on, and some good games and some conversation that we'll get into, and we'll get into a little bit of week 3 action as well. But our main topic at hand is Eagles versus Rams. We'll recap it. We'll break it down for you. And our poll question, brought to you by Ambuck Services, AMBUCK services.com. 20% off. Tell them the boys from A2D Radio sent you for all your gutters. The gutter experts of South Jersey. That's what they are. 20% off. AmbuckServices.com. Our poll, the Eagles will still make the playoffs. Agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. And again, everywhere you get your podcast, you can find us there as well. Like, subscribe, follow. Let's talk about it. Listen, we're going to get in the Carson and Doug and everything else throughout this show. But part of it is I want to believe they are. Part of it is that I believe if this defense can figure things out like they're supposed to be, they should be. This division isn't good. So they're a game out at 0-2 right now through 2 weeks. It's not like, somebody's 2-0 and they're 0-2 and you're like, oh, this is going to be trouble. You know what I mean? Could have been a lot of 0-2ers, right? Didn't work out that way because of the Cowboys. But I still want to believe in this coach. I still want to believe in this quarterback. I still want to believe in this defense coordinator to get things right over there. I want to believe in some of the veterans and some of the talent that I still believe is on this football field. I want to believe because every quarterback in the National Football League needs a number 1 wide receiver to play with. I hope to believe and pray to God, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I said it earlier, that like the only upgrade that's available right now is getting Alshon back, and hopefully he's healthy. You know what I mean? Hopefully he's semi-normal. I mean, even an 85% of what he was is better than what's on the field in JJ, right? Like you need the complimentary big wide receiver who can make some plays, right? You need a number 1. When Carson's best year, he had Alshon. All right, he had a legit 1 in this league. He was a legit 1, and it showed. It showed until the injury. It flat out showed. Kyler Murray gets DeAndre Hopkins. It's shown even more, right? I mean, look around the league. And I told one guy who told me I was delusional on the Jaws interview, I said, come back and talk to me tonight on this show and look up and tell me who doesn't have a 1. And exclude Brady from this. Like, take the GOAT out of it. Who doesn't have a legit 1? A legit playmaking 1. Small, big, and different. Doesn't matter. You're going to tell me Deshaun Jackson, Zach, grow up. He's a 2 nowadays.
Maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, you're going to tell me Jalen is right now? No, he's still a puppy. He ain't there yet. So the only hope is Alshon. So I still believe in this front. There's so much money tied up to the front on the defense. Like, these guys got to come play. Most money on the defensive front in football. They got to come play. So a lot's on that, but I still want to believe to the poll and agree that they'll still make the playoffs because they'll somehow be resilient like they always are and somehow win this division. Now, could it be an ugly win in the division? Sure, absolutely. But I still want to believe in them. They still somehow control their destiny. They go get it right. You know, you got a game coming up Sunday that you should win. You should. Now, we said that against the Redskins or the Washington football team. Sorry. We said it against them. This is why the National Football is crazy sometimes, right? But this should be a week you get it right and figure some damn things out. And if you don't beat the Bengals coming up, listen, I talk about walking to the cliff like I'm just walking. I'm not there yet. I'm just taking a stroll. You lose next week. We might be
Ubering, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just now. Might as well just get the jump in
right here.
Like, you know what I mean? I might as well just
Greg,
jump out
we're
of a plane.
Ubering to the cliff.
I'm gonna just jump out of a plane or a helicopter. Just get it. I'm done there. Make it quick. So, but right now, I still agree.
Yikes! In 2020, don't bring them up.
Yeah, well, I didn't mean it like that, but
Just,
you're an animal. The Eagles will still make the playoffs. Agree or disagree? I still want to agree. Part of it is my love for this football team, but part of it is what I thought this roster was coming in, and I'm so disappointed because I almost feel like my eyes lied to me again about this roster. I didn't think it was the greatest in football, but I thought this was a legit team in the NFC that could contend for an NFC title game, like could get there. I thought they had the ability to get there because I believe a lot in 11 in this coach. And 11 struggled, you know, and I'm not trying to run from it. He struggled. You know, people try to come at me about it. What do you want me to tell you? He didn't play well. I'm the first to tell you, but I am not giving up on him. I'm not quitting on him. This is what these idiots don't understand. Okay, he didn't play well for 2 weeks. He's got spurts of playing well, okay? But you want me to quit on him? Then quit on him then. Then walk away from him. But I'm not going to walk away because I want to have hope. I want to believe that this is the guy. Because if he's not, we're in trouble. I want to believe that this football team is still good enough that they compete. I want to believe that they can go on a run. I want to believe these things. That's what I want to believe. But your turnover differential can't be the worst in football. That's got to change for this poll to be fully 100% agree. That's what's going to make it an agree poll. But I'm still making the playoffs. If they start taking the ball away and holding on to the football and the interceptions, right? Like Miles, first drive, can't have it. Can't. And his defense can't get off the field against me and you right now, right? 191 yards let up on the ground, right? Grow up. Nate Gary stinks, right? Davion Taylor, you drafted in the third round, is not existent. I don't want to get into all this, but I still believe that there's enough talent on this football team to make the playoffs. Boys. Sweeps, Wells, Greg.
I'm going to agree because fuck it. Listen, I'm not going to try to sit here and blow fucking rainbows up your ass. We don't look good. But the whole NFC doesn't look good, and somebody's going to make the fucking playoffs out of the team, out of the division. And I'm just going to count on the fact that we've looked bad to start the season kind of a decent amount of times now in Doug's regime here, except for Carson's rookie year. I feel like and the second year where we were just hitting on all cylinders. But I feel like besides that, we haven't looked good to start the year a lot. And we've found ways to get it going. Now, the turnovers concern me. Obviously, we're turning the football over too much. Carson's turning the football over specifically too much. But I still think, like Tom said, I still have confidence that we can right the ship, get some wins. Obviously, we got to fucking beat the Bengals this week. And if we don't beat the Bengals, I'll be singing a different tune on Sunday. But we got to beat the Bengals. That happens, maybe we can start to right the ship. And obviously, we got to get some pressure on the fucking opposing team's quarterback because Jared Goff looked like Joe fucking Montana today. Besides that, I really don't have anything to tell you good. We look like shit, but I'm still confident we can right the ship. And for all the assholes out there that are rooting against Carson, like, you realize he's going to play all year. Like, he's going to have a terrible year for them to think about pulling him, which means he's going to have to play all year. So you're rooting against the Eagles then. So go fuck yourself. Next.
Oh, you're 100% spot on. The people who want him out and the people who talk about it are people that we shouldn't even talk about. They don't have a voice, right? Like, you either rally behind them, you either rally behind the quarterback and believe in him and trust what you saw last year when he carried a bunch of nobodies is really the guy, and that he can find that again. You know, it's like a pitcher just trying to find the zone again. You know what I mean? That his accuracy, as he gets more comfortable practicing with these guys, will start to get better because you got some new faces out there too, and some guys who stink. You know what I mean? So you have new faces and guys who stink. Like you played with Deshaun one game last year, right? And then Jalen's brand new. They're your 1 and 2, essentially. And JJ stinks, and somehow he plays over Greg Ward. So
yeah, he fucking stinks.
I have no idea how to say it, but this guy needs a number one goddamn wide receiver, and I don't know if it's the gadget. I'm praying that he is, but right now, as a rookie, I can't believe that. So I got to pray that Alshon comes back and can help this offense out and help my quarterback out with a little trust, like somebody that he's been with and can trust. Now, do I expect him to be the Alshon of 2017? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But can he help it? Can he help the quarterback a little bit? I think he can in spots if he stays on the damn field. No, I'm not saying he's going to come catch it.
He might catch them high balls. Carson's been high. Again, no preseason. You expect it, but he's been high with a lot of balls.
Yeah, it's just tough right now. Sweeps, Greg, the Eagles will still make the playoffs. The family out there, let us know. Agree or disagree?
I would disagree. Obviously it hasn't been a good 2 weeks, and there's a lot of season left, but you just haven't really seen anything promising. You know what I mean? Like they're both bad losses. I mean, glimmers. There's obviously you get Lane back. Obviously, the O-line played well today. So we know what he means to them. Miles was back today. He was
Miles looked good.
Miles was fantastic. I mean, that was the one bright moment for the Eagles. You know what I mean? Obviously, he put it on the carpet early on. Can't have that. Can't have it. You know what I mean? We all make mistakes, but you can't have it first drive. That's an absolute killer. All right, but he played fantastic. So, other than that, you're just you're grasping at straws. So normally you say, two weeks in, there is a lot of season left. The division isn't that great. So you can be optimistic. You know what I mean? But I don't see it, especially with their schedule. So it's not that I don't think that they can get it done. They got some veterans in there and stuff that they, there's still 14 weeks left, and anything's possible. But after the Bengals, if you're able to, luckily, if you're able to, right the ship and get past them, then the next 3 weeks are brutal. They're brutal. You know what I mean? And they're not better than those next 3 teams. Now, not always the best team doesn't always win in the NFL. I get it. You know what I mean? But you're looking at the Steelers, Niners, and Ravens. Yeah, that's a possible 1-5 start. Even if you get one, right? You're 2-4. Still uphill sledding. Now, you know what I mean? After that, you got the Cowboys and Giants coming to town.
Real quick to that, right? So then if you start out 1-5, okay, and then football teams are better than the Eagles, right? And all the money spent on this football team by our GM Howie Roseman, then that I start to question then the players brought in. If you spend the most money up front in football and you give up 191 yards, I'm confused. And maybe that's part of having Nate Gary at linebacker. I don't know.
We definitely got to get to the quarterback. We haven't got to the quarterback.
Yeah, we've killed Howie. We've killed Howie. I don't think anybody goes out of the radar where we crush guys. You know what I mean? Like Howie's at the top of the list. You know what I mean? Like players play, but they obviously Howie shops for the groceries. You know what I mean? So whoever's in that decision making is not getting it done. You know what I mean? But and that includes Doug. You know what I mean? Doug's I understand this the Super Bowl, and I still think he's a good NFL coach, right? But he drives me up a fucking wall, right? There's no reason to think you're the smartest guy in the room sometimes. No reason to go for 2. No reason to go for 2. It's you just scored. You're lucky it was 21-10. Make it 21-10. And you're saying, oh, man, what are you talking about? Sweeps, just one play. Yeah, later in the game when it was 21-16, it became huge because then, then they scored again and it would have made it a one-score game. When it was 28-16 instead of 28-17, would have been 28. You can kick a field goal, maybe 28-20, and you're still, you're still breathing. You know what I mean? Like, you got to break it right before the half. The only play they made on defense, Brandon Graham, finally somebody got to the quarterback, huge sack, took him out of field goal range. All right. Then they had, forced them to punt. Eagles don't get nothing out of that drive, but that ensuing punt, Cooper Kupp shits all over his thighs, and you get a free touchdown right before the half. You know what I mean? And to make it feel like, as 21-16, or you got a shot here. We're really thoroughly outplayed, all right, almost pretty much embarrassed, and it was 21-16. You still had a chance, So
agreed,
it made it look better than it was. You know what I mean? They just, from the last 30 minutes of the Redskins game to this whole game, they've been thoroughly outplayed. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
You know, things can change. I mean, it's the National Football League. I get that. You know what I mean? But they just haven't shown me anything. You know, the confidence level, you know, in this football team right now, like with my eyeballs, is just, you know, it's just not there. They haven't shown me anything, and the schedule doesn't make it any easier. You know what I mean? And,
well, my big concern.
I'd like to see us run down Cincinnati's throat. Sorry, Tommy. I just like to see us run down Cincinnati's throat.
I agree with you.
Because take the pressure off Carson. Just run it behind Lane. I mean, Lane looked good out there today. That's another guy looked good, but besides Miles and Lane, not a whole lot out there.
Yeah,
good.
I would still say like I have confidence in the offense to score points because I have confidence in Carson. I have confidence in Miles, Zach, Dallas. You know, I have confidence if Deshaun's on the field, he can make a play or two as things go on here. But like, I'm more worried about that. And we'll get into this in a little bit, but I'm really worried about this defense. It's 6 quarters now of horrendous football from this defense, like really bad football. So,
I mean, some people.
What'd you say?
Not according to some people. I know. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, like this is extremely terrible football defensively. 0 takeaways. They can't get to any quarterback. It's disturbing. You have all that money up front. Nobody can get home.
Guys running wide open today.
Yep,
Cooper Kupp running wide the fuck open.
Darius Slay.
The middle of the field.
Yeah, you saw in a game of chess, you know, I understand that, you know, we always talk about, you know, we just said, you know, players got to make plays. There's no getting around that. There's no excuses for the players, you know what I mean? But in a game of football, it's a lot of X's and O's, and it's matchups and guys, you know, Sean McVay was out there playing chess and Schwartz was playing checkers. I mean, he thoroughly, you know what I mean? And I'm not a big McVay guy. I mean, I like to smack him around, you know what I mean? He's got that look on his face, right? But, you know, his game plan today was fantastic, and he embarrassed Jimmy. Right? He got Jimmy running in circles. I mean, you know, they were not prepared for everything that they and anything they did today.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, and we knocked their starting running back out first fucking quarter, first drive, maybe even. Cam Akers left.
Yeah,
and they still did whatever they wanted.
Listen, let me tell you something. If you don't even watch a game, and somebody tells me the one team rushed for 191 yards against us, I tell you we lost. Okay, like we lost. I mean, and then you factor in the turnovers, and I really tell you, oh, that's a guaranteed loss. But if you just called me and said, "Yo, we let up 191 yards," you think we won or lost today? I'll say, "Oh yeah, we probably lost." You know what I mean? Because you can't. It's on both sides. It takes two to tango. I get it. Our offense hasn't been clicking enough or consistent enough. It's been like spurty, like a little spurt, like, oh, they look good, and then it's horrendous, right? I get that, right? But our defense has been bad the whole time. The whole time, outside of like the first 2 quarters in Washington, this defense has been atrocious, and a lot of damn money there. A lot of veterans. Darius Slay. I thought you brought a swagger with you, right? Swagger, big play Slay. Okay, cool. I mean, I hope to see it. Roby Coleman. You know, I'm sitting on this panel telling you, you know,
he got beat all over the field today.
You're telling me you're the best slot guy. You call yourself slot guy on IG. That's your handle, slot guy. Oh, that don't look like a god to me. You know what I mean? So now I'm just picking out 2 guys. Brandon Graham, okay, you had a sack today. Good for you. Derek Barnett back on the field, non-existent.
Derek Barnett stinks.
Fletcher Cox, Hargrave,
Offsides.
Jackson.
Offsides.
Are these guys available? Are these guys playing? It looks like they're on milk cartons. It's disgusting. Nick Gary shouldn't be on any football team. Like he's a practice squad guy or like your 4th linebacker. Okay,
right.
Nowhere on the damn football field. It's disgusting, right? Jalen Mills looks lost at safety, not comfortable there yet. Okay, makes some plays. But like, you know, I just think there's a continuity issue in our back end right now because a lot of new faces. Right, Avonte Maggs got beat all over the field. Okay, and Joel said it today too with me and Greg. He said when you watch him in the Washington game, a lot of throws didn't get thrown his way. Right, but he was getting beat all over the field, and it happened again this Sunday too. That he got beat all around. Avonte Maggs ain't good.
And they just took advantage of it this week, right? They just went at him.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, they probably saw on tape what fucking Jones was talking about.
So I'm just talking about what's not good enough, and you can say our quarterback's not good enough, and I'll agree with you. So nobody's running from playing bad football. All the reason I agree is because I love my football team, and I want to pray to God that all of us are right about this quarterback, and I want to pray to God my coach who has rallied his troops year in, year out to figure things out as they go, and just pray to God the division stays bad.
And I just want to be sane for the next fucking 3 months.
I mean,
just need some sanity.
Nothing. We already talked about everything during quarantine. We got nothing left. We're going to be talking about restaurants, movies. We got no time for that crap. We don't talk sports.
We could do me and Steppy movie hour. We could do that.
What up, Pop? Yeah, what up, Pop? Like I said,
What up, Pop?
And
What up,
Pop, and Pop, you're not wrong. You know what I mean? I just say to people, listen, they got issues all over the place. All right. But, if you'd have had to put up 40 today to win. All right. And last I checked, that's not easy. You know what I mean? And I'm saying, Pop's just talking about, the interception killed the drive. He wasn't saying
absolutely.
He wasn't killing, completely killing 11. And I'm not, defending him. I mean, Wentz sucked. He stunk. He absolutely stunk. You know what I mean? But, you look at it like, I got to put up 40. If you wanted to win today, you'd have to put up 40.
You're down 14-3. You're down 7-0 in a blink of an eye. You're down. That you go down the field. You go make it 7-3. So you semi-answer, right? Air quote answer. You put a drive together. 7-3. You feel like you're in the game now, right? You responded to a point, right? Like I always look at it as like a good response. Okay, 7-3. Right? You said you're here to play, and then boom, 14-3. Right? Like that quick at 14-3. So now you're playing catch up the rest of the damn game. So it all starts with a fumble, and it starts with your defense. Now, when you make it 7-3, you got to get off the field right there. You have to get off the field. You can't give up 7 there. But nobody wants to talk about the impact that has. Like it didn't happen. It happened. They went down 14-3. They routed in the second quarter, and in the third and fourth quarter, they got the ball ran down their damn throats. And the offense couldn't stay on the field. What do you want? It's that simple in this league. But listen, we want to know, you agree or disagree with the poll question? The Eagles will make the playoffs.
Also, Spells, I saw your comment, and you are correct. Rough. It's been a rough day for me in general. Eagles lost. Fucking Willie Vegas picks did not go well.
Nope. Mark says
1-5. You dust yourself off. You go get them next week. This is how the betting game goes.
Yeah,
or you just give it up.
Yeah.
No, we don't give up, Greg. We don't give up.
Just go back
do not give up.
Go back to words of Wilson. This has been a struggle. Mark says we might be talking.
You always bet against me. I'm not a professional here.
Okay, then tell people that. Mark says we might be talking about.
I would hope they fucking know.
Can I read off Mark's damn comment? Mark said we might be talking about the draft soon. Okay, Wills?
Tank for Trevor.
Oh, so Paltero, you got to buy a clue or 20. The defense is terrible. Hell no. What have you been watching, honey? You been watching the same game? Go away. You can still chat in, but just go away. I got nothing. Don, what's up, everybody? Yusuf, Cameron. Would you start Jalen Hurts if Carson doesn't perform? No. If Carson doesn't perform, we're in trouble for a long time. All right?
Yeah, he's got to have a whole bad season for me to even think about putting somebody else at quarterback. I don't understand these guys want Carson out after 2 games. What are we doing, guys? Come on.
If Carson is not the guy, that's an enormous indictment on Howie Roseman and Doug Peterson, right? So Howie Roseman gave up all those assets to get him and then paid him, right, and gave him the money. And then QB Factory wasn't able to develop him to the next level after that, right? So that if Carson's not the guy,
though, Greg,
I'm still believing he is the guy. I'm just saying if he's not because of all these guys, that's the indictment on the guys ahead of him, on top of him.
Can I say something?
He has played great. He has played great before in this league. Like people are overlooking that fact. Now,
no, he has, but
does he seem like he's regressed? He does seem like he's
gone
regressed,
back to some of the early issues.
Come on, man.
That he hasn't gotten past, and it's only 2 games right now. But I'm not giving up on the kid.
I
agree.
John Spillman
and Spells is right. Actually, guys have bad stretches.
He said great QBs have a bad stretch, but they always figure it out and win, like Wentz did last year. Send Wentz up the turnpike. They will take them. I can't believe the Wentz hate already. You can listen, like Paltero doesn't understand.
We saw this coming, Spells, as soon as they fucking drafted Hurts.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying when I say the defense played bad as an excuse for him not playing well. Do you understand what I'm saying? People take it the wrong way. I'm just saying he didn't play well, but his defense is putrid. We're allowed to point out other things besides just the quarterback. It's not making an excuse. And other people have told me this today too. Like, you're making excuses. No, I'm not. He didn't play good, but our defense has been putrid. You guys are cool with that? Then fine. But point fingers everywhere. This has been 2 losses that are roster losses. All right. So a lot of people need to step the hell up. My quarterback, my head coach. Okay, I'm calling everybody the hell out. I'm not happy.
D-line.
I'm allowed to be positive and still not happy at the same damn time. It's doable here. Shit. Greg, you're going to make us unhappy, so just go ahead. The Eagles will make the playoffs. Agree or disagree?
I disagree. I completely agree with pretty much everything Sweep said. If we beat Cincinnati on this week, and as of right now, it's an if. We're 1-5 potentially before we get to more conference games when we have Giants, Cowboys, Giants. And so if you're 1-5, if you think you're a 10-6 football team, you got to go 9-1 over the next stretch of games, or even 9-7, you got to go 8-2. And that's a tough. I haven't seen anything from this team right yet that allows me to think that they could go on any type of run like that.
Well, can I just rebuttal with one thing?
Sure.
And I understand different roster, different year. I understand all that. We've seen it's pretty consistent though. Like not 0-2 starts, but we've seen the runoff on wins. We've seen the rally for, I would say, definitely the last 2 years. The 1 year was Super Bowl year we were running. But you know what I mean? But the last 2 years, like we've seen that back against the wall. This is how we love it. And I don't understand it, but we've seen it. So, for you to say like I don't see how they go 8-2.
But there was, and you're right, but there was glimmers in those losses, and in the bad stretch, there was at least glimmers of positive play, right?
Losses are never positive, but I understand you. But what I'll say to that is I don't disagree with you. This football team's been really bad. So if you go off of what you've seen over the first 2 weeks, I completely disagree with the poll question, right? I'm trying to go off of the leadership and what they've done in the past. Can they do it again? I'm going to hope that they can. If they don't, this whole roster's anyway changing next year anyway. So this was an all-in year. This is why this is even more upsetting. This was a year you wanted to try to contend for something bet more than a division, right? If you don't get, I'm not saying a Super Bowl win, but I'm just saying like an NFC title game. Like you had to be all in. Why do you go spend money on all these guys defensively if that's all in talk? That's all in talk. And then you draft a quarterback in the second round and does what? Does what? Puts more pressure on your fucking quarterback. That already had enough over his damn fucking head, and you people tell me this don't matter? You tell me this don't matter? It matters completely. Now, does he got to go to work and get it done? Absolutely, he does. Right? But the fact of the matter is that's your GM who did it to Zach Ertz the year after he was a Super Bowl hero. He drafts his replacement in the second round. Fine. You think the best player on the board, Dallas, can play. But now you do it again to a guy you just inked up for $100 million. You show him the love and the trust, and then you go draft his replacement? I mean, he didn't have enough over his head with Nick in this city with the idiots, and now look what we're dealing with every time.
And listen, I totally, I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, but in order to be a leader and be the face of the franchise, you can't. That's stuff you got to get over that stuff. It can't bother. You know what I mean? Like you got to take. And I understand everybody's different. I don't compare the two scenarios. You know what I mean? But it happened to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers came out in 2 weeks right now, and dude's balling.
No.
I'm just saying, balling right now. Put that dude in his rearview mirror. And we
never had it before, though. He never had the double dip, though. He never had a guy. He never got hurt.
That's not from the locker room. That's just from fans that are just Nicky Six guys.
No, but it's still pressure. It's still pressure.
Well, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. He's human, all right? But you have to, in order if you want to be a top caliber athlete.
I'm saying for the first 2 weeks. Yeah, for the first 2 weeks, though, I'm saying I understand where there's that extra little motivation and pressure. Where you talk about when a guy's jacked up, his balls are high, balls are off target. Right, when you're trying to do too much, right, and be perfect, that's when you make these mistakes. So my point is for like the first 2 weeks, right, where you had no preseason, you had nothing before this, so like you just come right into it. So I'm saying for the first 2 weeks, I can see the extra pressure internally he feels to perform at a high level. Now, it doesn't make an excuse for not performing at a high level. I'm just trying to figure out some reasons. And then even Joel said, like, too many guys in his ear, coordinator-wise, right? Too much. But just at the end of the day, like, that pressure, he needs to overcome it if it's really there. Like I agree with you, Sweeps. Like,
he done it. Yeah,
like he just did last year, right? Like last year, he just overcame Foles, right? He played 16. He routed a bunch of nobodies offensively to the playoffs and a division title, right? So he did that last year. He got over the stigma. Then boom, concussion. Then he gets inked up, and then you say, "Oh, I'm gonna draft your replacement," hypothetically. It's just a mess. Like this should have been a clean year for him, where you're drafting the best player available in the second round, outside of a quarterback, and you go to work with him. You know what I mean? And that breath of fresh air. It's so many years after Foles now, where that starts to go away, right, from the idiots, and he can move on from it. I'm just talking about the mental. You're 100% right, Sweeps. Like, you're right. You got to overcome it. Rodgers did it this year. Rodgers is a pimp. We want Carson to be a pimp. But the only problem, like, Rodgers never had somebody come in that circumstance and win over him, which sucks. So, like, this, you just give him, draft the replacement 2 years from now. You know what I mean? Draft the replacement then, right? When he's getting up in age a little bit more. Like, you just can't do it this fucking year. You can't. You can't. I'm sorry.
You just can't, because you expect to win and you're wasting a pick on a guy that's not going to play. That's why you can't.
Yeah.
And I'm not even trashing Hurts. He could be a great player.
Listen,
I don't think he will be.
This whole league's set up for somebody to come and take your job, right?
Fucking pick.
Yeah, pro sports is always set up for somebody to take your job. I completely agree with it. It's totally understandable. That's just how it's set up in all sports. Somebody's always coming for your job. I'm just saying, like, this 1 year, like
Tyrod Taylor just got wide pipped today.
Yeah, but the stigma just could have went away. Like, you could have let another year go by, draft the best player available, help your football team out, right? And then worry about that in another year or two if you want to go take somebody in the second or third round. Just this year should have been another, he's coming off something good last year. Let it carry over for him. Like, that's all. I'm not saying it's the reason. I don't freaking know.
No. I mean, that's
blaming Howie for the pick again.
Yeah, that's a statement on the front office, all right, which we already know. So now, but if you're just talking about him as a player, I mean, if he had those doubts and he was feeling a little bit of heat prior to the season, well, I got news for you. His fucking seat is fucking tepid. It's fucking on fire right now, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The ship been turned up a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, 0-2 in this city, and he was horseshit. So I mean, it's only going to get worse. So
yeah, he's not sleeping.
I kind of hope that his head's cleared, and we'll see, how he plays going forward. But I mean, like I said, if that stuff was in there, like you said, Tom, which he's human, and I'm sure it was, it's only gonna amp up now.
Yeah,
well,
only intensifying now.
Yeah. You're 100% right. Let me, and get to some of the comments here. Rob says, and Rob, listen, I love you. He said Rodgers is a pimp. We know that. Wentz is a working girl. He's been awful. Listen, I think that's, if that's how you feel now, then you can't come back then. Like, you can't come back if you're so off the wagon with him. You can't come back 8 weeks from now and have a different tone, because it's still early. Like, it's not early. Like, you can't go, I don't want nobody trying to go 0-2, but a lot can change. In 4 weeks, a lot can change.
We've seen this from Rob last year, dude.
So
knee-jerk breaks is what we describe this as.
Ralphie says, can we get an actual linebacker?
It's a known thing.
We pass on that. Clay, Hurts still the worst
Why
pick.
would we do that, Ralph?
There was no comparison, just to make that clear. I don't know if that's what they took out of that. That wasn't a Rodgers-Wentz comparison. That was just saying that it just happened to him. They took a first-round quarterback, and then Aaron took the different approach. And I understand that the skill level is different. I get that, what I mean? But he took the cocksucker level. He took the cocksucker route and said, "Right, see this giant chip on my shoulder? Yeah, go ahead, come try to knock that off."
It just got bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Where the other guy is, maybe he's too nice. Maybe he's like, hey, come on in, man. Let me have you over. Let me have you over. Bring a beer. Let me have you over. Where I'm saying, hey, listen, I'll be a good teammate, but fuck you. Fuck you.
Exactly. You're not taking my fucking job. Fuck you.
Let Dougie Poo have a couple packages for you, maybe around the goal line, if that's what you want to do. Be cute, right? But besides that, fuck you. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Totally agree.
What's up, brother? Totally agree with you. I agree with you, TTP. Like, it shouldn't be. He should have enough mental toughness, to overcome any of it, and he has before in the past. So I believe if it is at all, he'll overcome it again. He did it with Nick. He played great. He played great football last year. He's been able to do it. So it's not like he's not able. He didn't overcome that. You know what I mean? He just overcame it last year. We watched him. So I believe he does it again if it is an issue. Right, I don't want to get into that anymore, but that's all I just had some feelings on it. I just wanted to say. But Eagles fan says, I'll say, we lose the Bengals season over, no chance for playoffs. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would agree with there. I would agree.
Yeah.
And Tommy, I think me and you are like on the same page here, which is very rare.
Yeah.
But like, I believe in Carson Wentz. I believe that he's a very good quarterback. I've said that from the past, and I'm not going to run from it now. That's a couple bad games. I expect him to fully flip the switch and start playing better football, taking care of the ball, and throwing dimes out there. Now, I can't speak for how the defense is going to play, but I expect Carson to play well.
Yeah,
I agree.
And the one thing though against this is our schedule doesn't get easier like it did last year. You know what I mean? We ended that last year where Carson manned up and took that, Wawa, customer service people to the playoffs because our schedule was trash at the end. And we benefit from that. We don't have that ability right now.
And that wasn't and I agree with you 1,000%. That wasn't his fault. You know what I mean? The Cowboys game was the winner take all. You know what I mean? The three other tomato cans, you had to win. You know what I mean? But
you have to win, but
we knew he was doing it with with Three Musketeer bars. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like, you know what I mean? So you tip your cap to the guy, you know what I mean? But he didn't play the 85 Bears. He didn't play the 85 Bears down the stretch. You know what I mean? But that's not his fault.
No, absolutely.
But you also
we don't have that this year.
Yeah.
but you play that tomato can week 1. So
right.
You can lose them games real easy too, Greg.
Absolutely can. Division games are tough regardless of how you look at it.
So I mean,
you're absolutely right.
I understand they upgraded, cool. You know what I mean? But the roster's similar, and it's still a team that's not as good as them.
No, they stink.
Yeah,
we should never lost that game. It's a terrible loss.
They're now better coached, though. I'm not
better coach. They got a good D-line.
They got a better coach than they've had.
No, I get
but you got to put your foot on their throat and not let. I mean, granted, our O-line really hurt us last week in that game. I don't want to go rehash that game, but we should have just buried that team up 17-0. We should have ran right down their throat, and we didn't do it. And that's on us.
No, you're right, and that's not having Miles and no backup you trust for the carries. You know, in an O-line.
You watched Arizona today. They got out in the lead and they just buried that team. Washington had no chance in that game.
You don't want to see it become a trend, you know what I mean? Because then you become a loser organization like the Falcons, right? When you continue to spit the hook back, that's the sign of a losing organization, you know what I mean? And so, and like I said, I'm not saying you're there yet, you know what I mean? But week 1, that wasn't a good sign, you know what I mean? So you want to make sure that trend goes away, you know what I mean? But like, you know what I mean? If you're the Falcon, I don't know how some of these guys still have jobs. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I hope someone just saw Cam's absolute act job. Like he got crushed there because that was spectacular.
I'm sure it was. Andrew says the leader of the defense was cut, and now he's on the Saints. He was one of them. I mean, Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox are still here. So, I mean, I'm not going to call this defense not being good enough just because Malcolm's not here. Like, you know what I mean? There's too much money on this defense to make an excuse for one guy missing.
No, he wasn't told, but yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Malcolm, a great player. I love Malcolm, but it is what it is. But he's not the sole reason his defense isn't playing well. There's too much damn money.
Maybe he is.
There's too much damn money, Greg.
Well,
I'm not saying you're not wrong, but
we start every year not playing well, though. We always get better as the season goes on defensively. That's like Jim Schwartz's fucking.
We've always been able to stop the run, though, regardless, though.
You're right. You're right about that.
We've had
concerning part.
We've had games in the past where we're a great run defense and we get shredded one game. We've had it. We had it last year, and it's happened. But my point is that, okay, you lose Malcolm, and I understand that, Andrew, but you added Darius Slay and Roby Coleman. So you traded like 2 for 1. You got 2 guys for 1 guy. Like, you're not going to take that deal if somebody offered it to you? You guys take that deal? If somebody just called you and say, hey, I'll give you Slay and Coleman, you give me Malcolm, hypothetically. You take it?
Right now,
probably not.
Yeah, we don't. Now we're out. We're out on it now.
6 months ago, I'd say yes.
Yeah.
But we did say yes.
But we thought Roby Coleman was really good. We probably said yes.
I never thought Roby Coleman was really good, though. I always thought he kind of stunk. And now he looks like he really stinks. So hopefully that's not a trend.
I'm wrong again. Steven says, as a guy who is from North, I don't think it matters. Like, I can tell you for a fact he said Carson is extremely overrated. Like, why? Because he's from North Dakota. I don't know. Like, location has any impact.
Oh my God, that's fucking nonsense.
So now we're reaching
nonsense. What does it matter where he's from? That makes no sense. It's stupid.
Pass that shit, babe. You know what I mean? That's all I can tell you.
I'll hit it. Yeah.
I think he said he's from there too. So maybe he's seen him play Pee Wee football.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a different story. Then. I took that the wrong way then.
Yeah, I read that as he's from North Dakota, so he's seen him.
God.
He's seen him in a Bradley's parking lot, and he just couldn't make throws.
Couldn't spin the Bradley's.
Yeah. There's a Bradley's in North Dakota.
Oh, for sure. There's still Bradley's. There's still Bradley's in North Dakota.
Thanks for tuning in, brother.
John, what are you talking about? Who is 31?
That's
Coleman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? He's trash. He hasn't played well.
He had a bad game today for sure. He was beat all
that?
over the field today.
I don't know, John. He hasn't played well. Andrew said, Tommy, if they're the leaders, then why didn't that add the defense together and start? I don't know. I don't know why I didn't have a meeting on the sideline. I'm just going to tell you, there's leaders here still, and they can play better. So I mean, it's as simple as that. Simple as that. Tristan said, so sad to see this team struggle after this. In the Super Bowl, we thought we were starting a nice run, but instead we have this. Yeah, because that window is not open forever. So you have to capitalize on every chance you get. That's how that works.
And we must have sold every favor, every soul we had as a city. It hasn't been going well since.
It's unreal. The injuries are just unreal. They are. And Sayamalu, I mean, did we see? Is there any official word on Sayamalu? I know he left today.
I didn't see an update. I'll check.
He's been playing decently well as well. So that's.
We just can't afford to lose another guy.
We can't afford to lose anybody now, but he has been playing decent. So it's just unreal.
Let me ask you guys a question. And it's hard to try it. What else can you do? I mean, what else can you do besides assume that certain things will get better and cleaned up? You know what I mean?
I'm a fan of the team. I'm not going to root for them to lose. Fuck.
I know our linebacker core is trash. I know all this, but I just hope some of these guys can step up. That's all I can.
And that was really exposed today. You know what I mean, Tom? I brought it up and Jaws saw it as well, earlier. But you saw in that first half especially, they could constantly work the middle of the field where the lack of linebackers or lack of anybody there, was not existent because that's all they did was attack the middle. That one screen pass, everybody was running away to the sideline, and Cooper Kupp's just sitting there 3 yards past the line of scrimmage, wide open, just like, all right, cool, thanks for 20 yards. We'll take it and go. It was just, over and over. It was just over the middle. The lack of linebackers or just them being in that space. It was astounding that there's just nothing there.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't know how you can be a defensive guy. And like I said, whether it's the organization, we know that, you guys talked about it ad nauseum, and we've said it for years, like really, they don't value the position. I get it, but I don't know how you can be a defensive mind or a defensive guy and not be a linebacker guy. I don't care how much the game has evolved. I don't care. I don't care how you look at defense and say a dude in the middle, an absolute unit, a dude in the middle doesn't change everything. Whether that was in the draft, I'm not even forget about talking about the Eagles, just in general. Right? Ray Lewis and Mike Singletary and Urlacher, guy, just great guys. I don't know.
Trot spot.
The last one we had here.
Trot spot. Pretty good defense when Trotter was roaming the middle. Axeman.
Yeah.
Pretty good defense when we just had a decent linebacker and like Nigel. Even a decent one, it was a better defense.
Well, it's just, obviously Tyler Higbee killed us today. So you just hope that they can clean it up. I'm going to try to trust the fact that our defense has gotten better as the years goes on every year under Jim Schwartz. So hopefully that, continues that trend. And we got to get some pressure. Like you said, Tom, we got a ton of money up front, and we're not getting pressure. Jared Goff had all day today, looking like fucking Joe Montana on the Niners.
You can point at Carson, the defense. You can point the finger all around on bad performances. You know what I mean? It's not this football team, and any football team is everybody's got to do their job. You got to get off the field on third downs. You got to take the ball away. On the offense side, you want to take care of the football. All these things we've done terrible in the first 2 weeks. And listen, everything can look bleak, and you can look back and say, I don't know anything good I can take away from it, right? But you can also say, like, okay, how did I feel about this roster coming in? It hasn't showed, but, like, what's this guy's track records, in terms of your coaching staff? Well, we always play better later, but you just got to hope it doesn't – you're not out of it later. You're not 1-5, like Sweep said. You're not 2-6. Like, you know what I mean? That you tread water. You're maybe after 6 games, you're 3-3, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to figure out a way to tread goddamn water right now and start playing better football. And it all starts this Sunday coming up with the Bengals. You got to come out. This is a must-win game, right? And you would assume that this defense is going to come out and not lay an egg again. you got to assume that our quarterback's going to come out and be more comfortable, right? And deliver balls on time. All these things, right? Not turn the football over. Good decision making, which at times looked like he was, and then little things again. But it all goes around.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like you said, it trickles down. You know what I mean? Even if, like I said, he's the guy running the show. So everything lands on his shoulders, and he's been horseshit. 11's been horseshit, so we know that. You know what I mean? But like I said, everybody's got their hand in this 0-2, really. You know what I mean? Like, even like I said, Miles didn't play week 1, played today, played well, but terrible fumble. Rigor drops a touchdown. You know what I mean? Got a helmet to helmet. So extended the drive, and then obviously the Eagles score, but he dropped the touchdown. You know what I mean? Like, you got to catch that ball. You know what I mean? Like, that's in the breadbasket. He straight up dropped it at the 1 yard line. You know what I mean? Like, and the defense and the coaching staff and the GM. It's just, everybody's in that blender right now. All right, there's nobody exempt, all right, from this shit sandwich blender that they got going. All right, and that's all. So We'll see who wants to take responsibility. You got to be absolutely kidding me. I'm going to throw my phone to goddamn fucking wall. Anthony Davis, with 2 seconds left, hits a 3. He just fucking cheated. Right on air. Right by him on air. Sorry.
Let it out. Did they win?
Yeah. 26-4. Joker
Yes,
game.
they did.
Joker game the lead. 2 seconds left. This guy hits a 26-foot.
Big shot.
Wow.
Big shot.
Huge shot.
LeBron did take it.
Big shot.
Well, Greg Jab talk. Ain't mad at it.
Yeah, they're probably going to win it all.
So you're talking about like everybody, we're talking about everybody has to play better. So that's what's concerning. You know what I mean? Is there isn't pieces where you're like, okay, that guy's really playing at a high level.
Yeah.
So me agreeing to the poll is optimism. It may be some blind loyalty, but I really believe that this roster was good. I really believe that this was a top 10 defense.
Well, where you at, Rob? I mean, where you at? I mean, you're the guy that's usually negative. So where you at, Rob?
Right. Yeah, 1 and 5 is realistic.
I mean, where you at, Rob? I mean, you're usually Mr. Negative. So I mean, like, you tell us where you're at, buddy.
I'd love to get the 3.
I'm not saying you got to jump out. Nobody's saying you got to jump out of the boat, but like, where you at? Where you at? All right. I mean, go through it. Got to travel to Sam. After if you're able to get to the Bengals, like I said, it's the National Football League, and you got to travel to San Fran. Probably not an easy game. I don't know. Tell me. All right, Steelers.
Hopefully, Mullins is that quarterback.
Right? Ravens seem to be pretty decent.
I mean, you're right. Well, it gets easier. Jimmy G's not there.
Tell us where you see a win there.
Belterra, no one misses Elson. Sorry. Even with this crap shitstorm of a wide receiver group right now, no one misses them.
Andrew, if it turns out to be a losing season, I guess he says who should be looked to be fired.
Fight.
Oh, fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs on the sidelines.
Oh, grabbing his wrist.
It's getting aggressive.
Getting
aggressive
Metcalf. Another shining star on Metcalf over J-Jaw, showing some fight.
A little fight.
Showing a pulse if they're catching a bomb. Andrew, I just don't think anyone's going to get fired, although, I mean, maybe Schwartz. Maybe that's where you finally get rid of, a coordinator or something like that. But, I mean, realistically, it should be Howie, but I just think, everyone's got too much of a leash from the Super Bowl. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair to a point. I mean, they've gone to the playoffs every year since. So, it is fair. Pop says the next 2 games we will win. After that, question mark.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I like the optimism versus San Fran, but
yeah, God bless you.
I mean, if Mullins is, as Will said, if Mullins is quarterback, then yeah, absolutely.
Rob says, why can't this team steal a game it's not supposed to win? They lose games they are supposed to win.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, you got to be prepared, though. They don't even look prepared right now. They've been thoroughly outplayed and outcoached in both games.
Yeah, you can't run from it.
I agree, Greg. They've been absolutely outplayed and outcoached.
Yeah, I mean, I
On
agree.
all sides. That's just it's not a me shot at Doug. That's on all sides, right?
No.
We talk about the defense too. I mean,
I agree with
the one thing we thought about the defense is they could at least stop the run, and then they got gashed today by everybody, right?
Well, guess what? We'll find out for real if we can stop the run against San Fran because they're going to run the football.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Like I said, I agree with Brinks and I agree with Greg. You know what I mean? Both ways. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can definitely steal one. That's what we said. It's a National Football League. Anything can happen. You know what I mean? So guys, teams lose games they're not supposed to. Teams win games they're not supposed to. So you see it all the time. You know what I mean? It's just when you're a wounded dog, let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, you get back in the corner when you come out fighting. We'll see.
Right? Yeah.
TTP, what a throw. Talking about Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's decent.
Did he get his foot in right there? He kicked the pylon.
That counts. That should count.
Where's that foot land though? Oh, it is in.
Yeah,
I think it's in.
It should be good though.
I think it's in.
The ball would have to hit the pylon, right or no?
Well, it's all about where his foot lands. I'm just saying, on the way there, he kicked the pylon, but I think it landed in bounds though.
Yeah.
He's in. I see a lot of green there. That's
yeah.
why.
I see some green.
No, I was just saying. I was asking Greg. Responding to Greg's. I know. There's like if he hits it doesn't matter if he hits the pylon, right? The ball.
Well, he can hit it, but he would already have to have 2 foot down. That was like his second foot getting down. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah. Just because he hit it doesn't count. You know what I mean? The ball would count. Like when you die.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You're like a runner. You know what I mean? Like right there. Yeah, he had to get that second foot down. Yeah.
DK Metcalf would have been a nice pick.
Yeah, it would have been nice. Yeah, he looks okay. I mean, obviously, he looks a lot better than J-Jaw. That's for sure. Fucking J-Jaw. I gotta stop calling him J-Jaw. He doesn't deserve the moniker. Start calling him his actual fucking name. Scumbag.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve a nickname.
JJ Arcega Whiteside.
Their little son out the one day, and he's got a freaking umbrella with mom. You know what I mean? That's iffy to me. That's always going to be iffy.
Wait, what happened?
You never seen that photo?
You don't remember that?
No, what happened?
Go ahead, Greg. My voice, I'm losing my voice here.
There was like a sunny day at training camp one time, like this past year. And his mom was out there holding an umbrella over him.
Oh, my God. I'd have fired him on the spot. I'd have cut him on the spot.
There's by the way,
what are you afraid of the sun?
There's no new update on
pussy.
Sayamalo. It's just they haven't updated him since the game.
That's great.
All the updates are from the game where he's just downgraded to out.
Yeah, he'll be out forever.
Absolutely, TTP. He's out there having a couple skate. Dude's fucking useless.
Yeah,
couple skate. Oh,
that's two. That's 2 second-round picks that bring nothing to the table. So, Corey Clement, Ted, you know what I mean?
That's unreal. That's unreal, Greg. We didn't cut him after that happened. Now I really question Howie.
Yeah,
I cut him after that happened.
I can't believe you didn't see that. Even my dinosaur ass, I remember that. Yeah,
that's crazy, dude. How have I not? I must have been too high that day or something. How did I not see that?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think you got A2D. We posted it. I think
they posted today. Yeah.
All right. Well, give me
that's
that.
Unreal.
I think we posted it at the time. I thought we did. Yeah, for sure.
Even if you disagree to the poll that the Eagles still make the playoffs, give me 2 reasons why they could still make the playoffs. Right? Even if you have a disagree, you don't think they're making it, but 2 reasons why you think they could make it.
So me and Greg, then, basically.
Yeah. I mean, Wills will give you 1. You know what I mean? Me and Wills, we'll give you 2. Give you 2 piece. And give me 2 reasons why they can. And everybody out there listening, you give us 2. Even if you're out.
Better quarterback play, obviously. You know what I mean? We know what it takes in this league. I mean, having said that, one guy doesn't make a team, you know what I mean? So I thoroughly believe that, you know what I mean? But, having a stud quarterback in this league is obviously what you need. All right, it's a recipe, for to be a successful franchise is to have a pimp under center. All right, so is he that guy? We still believe in him. I know everybody else, not everybody else, but a lot of people were done with him, after the next year after the Super Bowl, after he got hurt or whatever. So whenever, either you were out on him before that or you're out on him now, it is what it is. But the truth of the matter is he's got to play better. You know what I mean? So if they want to turn this around, it's going to land on his shoulders. And if he's, if he isn't mentally tough and he's letting outside stuff creep in and it's causing him to not be accurate and hide with his throws and make bad decisions and turn the ball over, then there's nothing we can do for him. You know what I mean? But if it's just a matter of making some adjustments and making better decisions and watching a little bit of film and whatever, getting there early, and I know he puts the time in. The guy works his butt off, but for me it starts with him. You know what I mean? Like I said, you can win. If he played better in week one, they win that game. You know what I mean? So as much as 27 unanswered, I get that. It doesn't get there if the second half, if the Eagles don't get blanked in the second half. You know what I mean? So that week one doesn't happen if obviously if he plays better. You know what I mean? And then today I said even if he was Joe Namath, and put up, you would have had to put up 40 today. You know what I mean? So it just wasn't there. The defense, was horrible. So if you ask me two things, the quarterback play, and they have to be better on defense. They have to be a little more opportunistic. They gotta create some turnovers. They gotta get the quarterbacks. It's a passing league. You know what I mean? You can't week in and week out play guys and not get to the quarterback and not have pressures and not make quarterbacks uncomfortable. All right. When a quarterback is clean and upright, he's gonna shred guys. He should at this level. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be the best quarterback in the league. You're in the NFL for a reason. You know what I mean? And if you're not getting any pressure in your face and you don't have to move off your spot and everything is easy peasy to you, most of these guys can make those throws. You know what I mean? The easy throws.
They all should.
They all should be able to make the easy throws. So
I was more saying, like, what do you guys trust? Like, two things you guys trust too. Like, you know what I mean?
I trust Carson. I mean, I don't know if I trust, it's not that I wouldn't trust the defense. I mean, they haven't, I'm not a Jim Schwartz guy. So I guess I don't really trust Jim Schwartz. I know they get better. Like Wilson said, I get that, you know what I mean? But it just seems like, he's kind of a stubborn guy and he wants to do his thing. And we've been asking for him to make adjustments for a long time. You know what I mean? Ever since he's been here, I don't feel like he has, you know what I mean? Like, guys, even though they get better and they play their tails off. So, I mean, I tip my cap to him when they're playing well, you know what I mean? And he can't play for them, you know what I mean? But like I said, today he got thoroughly outcoached, you know what I mean? Like McVay made him look like a little kid today, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then, I mean, my two things are the same thing, right? But I only trust one. I only trust Carson. I don't trust anything else right now with this football team. I mean, I believe Carson is a franchise guy, and I believe Carson is that guy. He's got to be much better, and that's the only thing of this football team right now I trust. I mean, yeah, we've seen the defense do it in the past, but now there's a whole lot of mix and matching, right? There's a whole lot of new pieces, a whole lot of pieces gone. We have Swiss cheese in the middle of the defense, which got completely exposed today. So obviously it's now on tape to where everyone's going to be exposing that even more. I think Jim Schwartz is okay. I'm not going to, clamor for him as the best defensive coordinator, but he's done it in the past. But I would like to trust the front, but today they were gashed today. They were absolutely gashed.
Pop really hates the Niners, huh? Pop hates him. Two winnable games. Not that they can. It's just I hear you, Pop. Anyway, what we were saying.
Yeah, I mean, again,
but they've done it before. Sorry to cut you off.
Right.
When the defense has done it before, now here. You know what I mean? So not that they completely go right back to that, but you know what I mean. Like,
but
I like Tom said, that. There's other voices in the room, you know what I mean? But that guy, he was your anchor on the back. You know what I mean? You were able to move him around and, do some different things. I don't know. Just, we'll see if they can do it, without him,
And he played a lot down in the box where your potential lack of linebackers was minimized a little bit because he came down a lot to play in there. You know what I mean?
Away from his skill set, but I hear you. He did it. I mean, Schwartz did it with him. You know what I mean?
Right.
He wasn't atrocious at it, but it did.
But yeah, I mean, you had guys at least back there. You had guys in the middle in the past that actually had played before,
Correct.
whether they were good or not. You know what I mean?
Greg, you don't trust the coach who's done it
No,
for 3 years?
no.
Okay.
Greg's a notorious Doug hater. That's not a surprise.
I don't. I think he's been thoroughly outcoached the first 2 games of this year. And I think if you go back into last year, it was just we had an easy schedule coming down, and Carson was able to make up for that. I don't think Doug's been very good for the last year and a half.
And the division's been bad for a couple of years too. So
Yeah.
but I'm not ready to throw him out. I'm not ready.
I never said fire him. I mean, you can talk me into it.
I'm not going to throw him out in the dumpster. You know what I mean? But I'm not ready to. I hear you, but he doesn't jump off the page for me.
Fucking Greg.
I don't know. Everybody has different things. They like different guys. I don't know.
I don't think it'll be hard to talk you into it, Greg. Fucking one mellow yellow in a candy bar. Greg's at the Fire Doug station.
We go 0-6. That might come hot.
Chicken fingers without sauce and a mellow yellow. Greg's ready to fire Doug. You know that.
My Mello, where's the chicken fingers?
Listen, you know he gets fired if he has 2 back-to-back seasons where they don't make the postseason.
Yeah, I agree, Tommy. Listen,
That's-
I trust in Doug. If you want to give me, if you want me to give you my 2,
I have no question
Carson
there, Tom.
Wentz, and I trust Doug that they're going to get it right. I want to say that I trust our D-line, but I don't really trust our D-line. But we gave so much money to them. We need them to play well and start getting to the quarterback. Like Sweep said, anybody can throw from a clean pocket. When quarterbacks start having to move and start getting pressure in their face, they make mistakes. It's how you beat teams in this league. But I trust Carson and I trust Doug that we're going to play better football. Now, will that amount to us winning games? That's yet to be seen. But I expect us to play better football moving forward.
Rod Alexander, I'm in on all of them. But no, you're absolutely right. But even on the defense side, right? Like the defense, even when we've done it in the past, we've still never turned the ball over, right? And
he has to cut turnovers, Greg. That's
no. I'm saying
that's number one.
The defense.
Oh,
we've still never generated a whole lot of turnovers.
You're right.
Even though the defense,
you're right.
Even though the defense has played well in the past and we've been this great run-stopping team, we've always struggled to turn the ball over and flip the field on the other teams like constantly happens to us. You know what I mean?
Very true.
Yeah, they seem to have over the years, they seem to have timely turnovers, timely takeaways, which is obviously leads to winning football, you know what I mean? But, the consistency you're talking about, I totally understand what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like I said, they just, they definitely never lead the league in defensive takeaways, you know what I mean? But they'll make big plays, you know what I mean? Like Patrick Robinson pick 6, Brandon Graham gets to the quarterback for, so he can hoist the trophy, you know what I mean? So they
LJ Fort
you'll take the time they want.
LJ Fort's turned into a pretty good player too, by the way.
That's right. Yeah, LJ Fort running a fumble back for a touchdown. Oh wait, he's in Baltimore now.
He's turned into a pretty good player.
99 spells.
Peace there, Spells.
And I'm not saying he was very good here, but he went to a system that values linebackers and knows how to use them. And he's turned into something. You're absolutely right.
Well, he played well in Pittsburgh before he went to Baltimore.
He did.
So,
He came here and they just didn't know how to use him for some reason.
And Pittsburgh gets the most out of every linebacker on their squad. Always.
Them in Baltimore.
Yep.
And that's why they're in so many seasons. That's
and
why
New
they're
England,
always
obviously.
Yeah.
But New England gets the most out of everyone on their defense because Bill Belichick's best defensive coordinator of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's insane. I think they're running like a 5-1-5. 5 defensive linemen, 1 actual true linebacker, and then 5 defensive backs.
Who, New England?
New England.
Yeah. Well, all their linebackers opted out, right?
Yeah.
We were just talking about earlier.
Missing like 6 guys, yeah. That's a part. That's what we talk about being creative. You know what I mean? Creative and figuring things out. And KYP, know your personnel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
that's what Bill's the best at it. Sweeps, you know this.
You said if you got to invent something, you know what I mean? Like,
dude's literally changed his entire game plan of the last 20 years for Cam because he knows how to win. He knows this is what we got to do to win.
Even offensively, you're right.
That's why I love the guys that thought that New England was going to be bad this year. Like, are you an idiot? Bill Belichick, best coach of all time. They're not going to be bad. They might not be great, but they ain't gonna be bad.
Not when they
No
sneak out
chance.
Cam Newton 3
Yeah,
weeks
can't
before
wait.
the year.
You wait for them to not make the playoffs just so you can be wrong again.
They're probably gonna make the playoffs, Tommy.
Probably. Two reasons why I think two reasons why I'm so confident that they can make the postseason are two. I mean, I could go for a couple things, but I know it's the two obvious ones, but I trust in Carson and I trust in Doug. I mean, I can't say it enough times. And people was like, "Oh, Doug's your son now." Doug's not my son, dude. He's a Super Bowl winning coach. I'm gonna put some fucking respect on his name. Okay, like he's going to the postseason 3 straight years. I
He's
gotta
your
like.
uncle.
Okay, yeah, he's Uncle Doug. And Uncle Doug is taking us to the postseason. Bad division, easy schedule. It doesn't matter. You still got to go there. So I can't deduct points for going to the postseason. You know what I mean? I can't be like, oh, well, you went to the postseason, but you played nobody. Like, still have to go there. Though I got to give that credit, and I wouldn't give that credit if you weren't a Super Bowl winning coach, right? Like you won a Super Bowl too, and this city has an experience that doesn't give you a free pass forever. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you don't get out coached at times. It doesn't mean that at all. Because he absolutely has. And he hasn't had his football team over the first 2 weeks ready to go. So it's an indictment. It starts at the top. And I'll be the first to say it starts with him and it works its way down. So when your head coach it doesn't have you prepared to play essentially, and your quarterback's not on, and your defense stinks, well, guess what? Yeah, you're 0-2. You know what I mean? It's like it's a simple formula. So everybody tells me, Tom, you don't call people out. What do you want me to say? Doug got out coached the first 2 weeks of the season, and Carson hasn't played good enough and has played terrible at times. That's all I can tell you. And other guys defensively are just collecting paychecks too. So that sums up the first 2 games of the year. So I'll be the first to tell you Doug's got out coached. So, I mean, Sean McVay owned him today, but Sean McVay's never beat him before. So does it mean Doug's an idiot? Doug used to go to L.A. and own Sean McVay. So, I mean, it goes both ways. It's a sweeps always says. The other team has cleats. You know what I mean? Like, other team has hands to catch the ball. So, I always joke with my kids about it. Like, if a kid hits a home run, like, well, he's got a bat too. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to happen. It's what goes on in sports. Other teams are going to make plays. They're here to play too. It's not us versus a computer-generated team. Like, come on, So it's the same thing.
Getting paid.
Yeah, and listen, this is a football team as a whole that has flat out not shown up. It's been a flat out disgrace to watch. It's been unacceptable to watch. This is a roster that has a ton of money tied into it, and to come out like this is concerning, and even more concerning when your tight end's talking about money the Friday before your first game, which means distractions. You heard distractions about Doug, which I don't even believe, but all this bullshit comes out before week 1, and it just adds to the distraction that aren't necessary for this football team. And then you see how it plays out on the field. Zach Ertz, he's not the same Zach Ertz this year right now, right? He's not, you know what I mean? We thought he was going to get open even more because you had speed around him. Well, that hasn't aged well, So, I mean, this is a circle jerk of problems. Really it.
No lube.
No. Just hand sandy.
Dry palm.
Jesus Christ.
So if I used that line on somebody and they're in the car with their family the other day, and I was like, yeah, I'm lubing up like a porn star with this sanitizer. And like, everybody, it was Mike Scans. He's like, everybody heard it. And I said, my bad. That one's on me. I didn't throw Sleeps under the bus. So I should be like, that Sleeps is lying with the sanitizer. I just liked it. He's my PR guy. Sometimes I use things. I do, Rob. I do really feel bad for Saquon. I feel bad for any good guy. He's a good kid, and he's a tremendous worker. I'll feel bad for any kid like that. He does good things off the field. He's not a piece of shit. I'll feel bad for you all day, no matter what team you play for.
Agree.
Pieces of shit, I don't care. Like Pac-Man Jones, you can tear your ACL 45 times. Vontez Burkett,
please.
Yeah, Vontez, tear it away. There's plenty of guys.
We could use Joe to get hurt tomorrow for us too.
That's why I said it, Greg.
Well, we'll probably have somebody hurt tomorrow.
Plus, he's a fucking scumbag too. So
yes, that too.
Okay.
Punch another girl in the face, Joe. Fucking scumbag.
Yeah, well, Rob, this is the problem, and we've all spoken about it a million times. But when you miss and then you come into cap situations, you're supposed to be able to rely on them picks, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So, as of right now,
he doesn't keep his job, Rob. To answer your question,
I agree. I just think Jeffrey has too much loyalty to him.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he would deserve to, or you just handle cap and somebody actually does a draft for you. You know, that's the only thing I can say. Because that's the biggest issue. It's not free agency, in our opinion, right? It's not trades. It's always been the draft. So I mean, it's nothing new. I think this is the stuff that's outlandish. Like Anthony, I am putting Doug in the rich coat type category. And I just think that's freaking ridiculous.
Doug's won though.
I think he said earlier that the defense played well today too. So I'm just.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no chance.
You can ask
the defense played well, then don't even put his comments up on the screen anymore.
What Julio, Las Vegas, I assume, right, brother? It does open tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
You going, Julio? You going?
Are they allowed to go? Is the question.
I think in Vegas they are.
I didn't hear that.
Vegas is open.
Vegas.
Yeah,
Stays in Vegas.
Fucking Vegas. They all got diseases there anyway. They're like, fuck it.
Yeah.
No offense, Julio. I don't think you have a disease.
So real quick, early feeling about next week. And like we like to give we'll go on soon before games, but since we can't and our guys aren't on the rest of the week, so let's give me your early, obviously it's still a day of a loss, but your early score prediction for next week, and give me two guys that you believe are going to step up. Offense, defense doesn't have to be a player a game. Just two guys that you believe are going to step up and come to play.
Cam and Julian gelling quickly.
Yeah, they are. Julian's pretty good. Julian always
he's okay.
Yeah, he's always open.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's a decent player.
And he catches the football.
Catches everything.
Catch.
You guys are ahead of me. Wow, that was sick.
Catches everything.
It's a good ball, too.
Yeah, great ball.
Only place you can put that baby.
Grandmama. Good ball by Grandmama. Wow.
He does got a goddamn cannon.
Always
has. Yep. Always has. Yeah, so your early score prediction, it's really early, but people love it. And anybody out there, give it to us. If you're down, you're down. And Lone Star says no fans in Vegas this season. So Greg for his life again, and it continues.
I'd say 28-24 Birds. They'll figure it out. But if you saw the kid can sling it. Obviously he threw 61 times on Thursday. That's not a good recipe for a young man, but he can sling it. So you better get some pressure, and you better get to him, and you better come up with some disguises or something, and make life hard on him, because he's got some weapons. Boyd and AJ Green's healthy for the time being, and their tight end did get hurt. Backup tight end came in.
Uzama got hurt.
Backup tight end came in, made some plays too. So obviously he likes the tight end. Mixon's, stud dual threat guy, out of the backfield as well. So, and Gina and Bernard creates issues. So they got some weapons. Offensively, defensively, this is one of those games where you should get, offensively, this is a game where you should get well. This is one of those games, in high school, you're like, oh, we're playing Paulsboro today. Okay, cool. It's a 5 for 6. It's a 5 for 6er. For guys out there, sorry to offend you, but it's a 5 for 6er. It's a 5 for 6er. So offensively,
three doubles.
Yeah. Offensively, next week you need to get.
I thought we were talking football. I'm like, that wouldn't be a good day for a football, Paulsboro day.
No. Or wrestling. Yes, I was strictly talking baseball there. Yes, wrestling, that's a big fat L, and football is, in my speech, I already talked about those 68 nothing.
That's when you pull a hammy.
68 nothing.
Or you tie right there with your chest. Oh, my chest hurts.
This
is the Chiefs.
This is what we call a feel-good game coming up. It should be. You know what I mean? The old feel-good.
Yeah. Like I said, it could be 28, should be more, but I'll just say 28, 24. 28,
If anybody complains about that after our first two games, they can kiss my ass. I'll take a win any way I can get it. Brinkman said,
It could be 7-6. I don't care.
And listen, real quick, and Greg, give me yours in a second, but I got to tell Chris something. I don't give a rat's ass what Seth Joyner says. Carson hasn't played well, but like you're trying to fit this freaking agenda again, dude. I can't. I almost want Jalen Hurts to play, so he throws 6 picks, and I just want to see where you go. Like I want to see if you come in the group, if you come to the page, if you're around, because I got a feeling you might not be around if that happened. I don't know why you want to hate him so bad. Like actually try rooting for him a little bit. See how that works. Brink said Ertz
he's going to play, Chris. So I mean, if you're just not going to root for the Eagles, then like I don't get it. Like Carson's going to play, dude.
31-17 Eagles. Don says, and
I got 38-21 over here, or 38-27.
38-27. Ricky Good
I think we'll up some points. Barrow can throw it. He can sling it.
Yeah, our defense hasn't told me anything else, and then letting up points. So Ricky Good says
where we're finding 38 points.
It's a get right game for our offense, Greg.
Yeah, this is.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean it better be.
Ricky, 31-28 Birds. No, Steelers fan. I don't give up on them. So, I'll give up on them when I know they're bad. You know what I mean? Like, okay, they're bad. It is what it is. Then I'm looking for the future. I'm looking to see what
you're going to go 5-11. That's not clearly. We get better every year, dude. If you remember, before the Packers game last year, we were all singing the same tune. Then we beat the Packers in Green Bay. All of a sudden, we got a little mellower. We cooled out.
Yeah, we beat some good teams last year. We beat Buffalo on the road. That was a good win. You know what I mean? We had some good road wins last year. Yeah. So, Greg, what was your score?
I'll go 21-17 Eagles.
All right. Wills, what was yours again?
38-27. Birds.
Maybe a little explosion. A little 34-21 piece.
Explosion of flavor.
Yep, a little flavor explosion. Like the melody brings.
Just like the Skittles.
Sam, you know what? He has what makes us confident. Just the roster that we thought it was. We hope that they're good enough to figure this out. I think we're all banking on that a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen.
And you got to get one. I mean, if not, if you don't get this one, then it's an 0-16 burger. I hear you. I love the question. I mean,
you're a more talented.
Not much. Yeah, I was just going to say, not much. You know what I mean? In the first 2 weeks, but are they a better football team than the Bengals? Yes. Will they win? I don't know. All right, but if you don't get this one, come on.
They're tough to find.
Yeah. You're gonna be looking around the room.
Trees.
Yep, it's gonna be a game of musical chairs, and you're gonna be looking around, and you're gonna be out of chairs.
Yeah, and the Browns have probably a fairly even defense that kind of we thought we had, right? And they hung 30 on the Browns, on a short week. Now it's more of a rivalry game, so I'm sure there's a little bit extra juice, in-state rival. Then didn't have to travel very far, but they can put up points too.
Big fans of that 2-point conversion stop right there. Big fans.
Yep.
Tom and I.
Yusuf says, I got 41-38 Eagles. I'll take a win any way I can get it. That's what I'll say. Jeremy says 42-32 Eagles. Julio, 34-24. I mean, a lot of dubs. Booker, high quality, 27-24. And then Anthony, 34-21 Bengals. There he is.
Yeah. I'll be singing a different tune next Sunday if that's the case.
I might not be singing a tune. Lord Walker, I'll take a win anyway I can get, but it definitely is a must win. Only 5 teams that made the playoffs going 0-3.
Absolutely, Lord.
It's the biggest.
It's an absolute must win, especially with the schedule going forward. Like you said, you got to win this game.
Yeah.
Listen, this schedule could be the worst schedule in the world going forward. You can't go 0-3. You know what I mean? You can play the worst schedule in the world. You can't go 0-3.
With 2 losses to the Skins and the Bengals, I'd say that's a negative. Patterns full.
And even at 0-2, even at 0-2, it's only 12% of teams make the playoffs, so it's still not a great stat.
Yeah,
but it's better than 5.
Stat, Greg. Thanks.
Better than 5.
Bro,
Yeah, hey, Rye, how about you don't talk that bullshit into existence?
We did tie the Bengals before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we did. I forgot about that.
Wasn't
That
a
was
great
the
day for
infamous.
Donovan either.
That was the infamous.
Tie.
We can
Thanks,
end in a
Don.
tie.
Thanks, Don. Made all of us Syracuse guys feel real smart that day. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, I believe we still went to the playoffs that year, too.
I think we did. Correct. And the tie actually helped us get in, I think.
Yeah, that's how we'll spin that off. Better than a loss, guys. Ted says, so is Deshaun a part-time player? It looks like it. Or like I said the other day, they're pitch counting them.
Or they're going to release them. I don't get it. Like,
I just think he gets hurt every time he's on the field.
Is it? No, I get that side of it. But, like, don't you think, like, the body, goes better when it's warm? You don't want to be playing when it's cold? I don't know. It's weird. It's mind-boggling. Weird.
It's weird. I feel like he's only played like 40% of the snaps, if that.
Yeah.
Ricky, tomorrow he comes in for a visit, so and Devontae Freeman, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know what there's to talk about. You know what I mean? Like if you're in shape, here's a contract. You know what I mean? Like unless he's asking for, a truckload of money or anything. You know what I mean? You're unemployed, Devontae. You're unemployed. You enjoying yourself, or would you like to play some football? You know what I mean? And that's from his.
That's from getting your unemployment checks.
That's from his end. That's from his end, and then obviously the Eagles. I mean, come on, welcome another weapon. I don't know what he's got left in the arsenal, but the guy's always been a bruiser. You know what I mean? And you saw back in 2017 how that worked. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely,
that worked really well in 2017. You know what I mean?
I'll sign Devontae Freeman in a second.
That pass that blunt,
I don't need to see it work out.
Puff, get it. Pass that blunt worked out pretty good. Punished people in 2017.
Absolutely,
it gives you that little thunder.
I don't want to hit that blunt; it's too big.
It gives you a little thunder and lightning. The one thing Devontae does well too is he catches the ball out of the backfield well. So I mean, he gives you a double dip there. And then you have Boston Scott's now your third. Now you have three like playmaking running backs in a way, right? Like that can just make, and they're all different in a way, which is good, right? So they all do little things different. Miles looked more patient today than he's been in the past running the football. I thought he was waiting for holes a little bit more, which was good to see. Boston looked good in some of the carries I saw him. But I would love for him to be my three.
There's nothing more. I feel like
you never, like I said, I don't know what's left in his tank, right? But there's never wrong. You can never go wrong having enough talent in the room, having a surplus of talent. You know what I mean? Whatever's left in his tank. You know what I mean? The guy, played well in the National Football League. So I don't know what's left in the tank. You know what I mean? But there's nothing. You can't. As long as you figure it out and find the right way to use them, I mean, there's plenty of footballs to go around. I mean, obviously Thursday night you saw with the Browns. You know what I mean? Not comparing the two. I mean, obviously Chubb and Hunt are special. You know what I mean? But you see, if used right, you can have a two-headed monster, and they can both eat and be successful.
They can both eat, yeah.
And don't you want? I know what Doug wants. I mean, he's won it every year. He wants fresh backs in November, December. So this is a guy, who doesn't need to come in and be your one, but it makes you deeper. And listen, Anthony, the reason we're talking about running backs and not linebackers because there's no goddamn linebackers to sign. Are you gonna bring Nigel Bradham back after he talks shit? I mean, who are you bringing back? Who are you bringing in here? I mean, I'll take Nigel back at this point, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
if Nigel comes back, that's on him too. At this point, I feel like he can't even come back after he said that.
Yeah.
Listen, a lot of guys are missing the pride gene, Wills. I hear you, brother. So I mean,
yeah, I mean, he had a gun in the airport, so not the brightest. Yeah, so
forget about that.
Yeah, and I don't care. Like,
I love the excuse for the gun in the airport. I forgot it was in there. Like, you don't see your fucking bag, you moron.
Not like you're not like you.
Who's carrying guns all the time anyway? What is it doing in there?
Yeah,
fucking hire security to carry guns. It's really simple. You got money, spend it. Fuck.
Yeah, you know what's funny, Rob? Every team in the league has a good slot guy and has a good guy on the outside. You know what I mean? Like today, you look at Robert Woods, you look at Cooper Kupp. Like, two guys who can do it inside, outside. You know what I mean? Really good wide receivers, really good route runners, right? And then you see the production. I mean, I told, in our thing before the year, I said I thought the Rams were going to have a bounce back year. I thought they were going to be really good again. You know what I mean? I just had that weird feeling that they'd be really good again for a year. Goff looks better.
They got all kinds of pieces. They got all kinds of pieces. You know, they had a little Super Bowl hangover, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't down on them. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not a McVay guy, or am I really a Goff guy? But he managed the game really well, and he started playing better under McVay. But they got plenty of pieces. and getting Ramsey helped a smidge.
The sweeps. You remember that? Remember that days when I begged for him, and Wilson's like, "Why do you want Ramsey?" Well, I think he's better than Slay. I'm sorry.
He's not bad. I agree, but I mean, they paid him a fucking ton.
Well, we paid Darius. We're paying Darius.
Maybe we should have gave it to him instead of the D line because they're not doing a whole lot right now.
I'd rather have.
I think it was more of the draft picks back when Wilson was belly aching. You know what I mean? I think it was talking about 2 first rounders and stuff like that. I mean, it strictly obviously wasn't from talent, and maybe he was a locker room cancer. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I think it was more of like giving up 2 first. You know what I mean?
I'm still looking for the guy.
Yeah, the way the Eagles draft. Yeah, you probably should have did that then.
Yeah, I may or may not have said that too. Greg, you remember the guy on the interview who I told her name me a quarterback that doesn't have a legit one. I'm still waiting for that guy, by the way, people. I'm still waiting.
JD White, right?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for him to come back and tell me the quarterback.
You can't
I
say
Russell Wilson maybe doesn't have a legit one, but Russell Wilson's really special.
Fair
he's
one.
Special. Like
really
Tom's point earlier, he said take Brady out, right? The GOAT, right? Take the GOAT out. I'm not saying Russell's the GOAT, but
by the way,
Russell's
Brady
special.
has number 1 now.
I mean, you can go.
Now
you can find it somewhere. I mean, I hear you, and I don't know how many. I guess if you reword it to say like how many good teams, how many real good teams, or how many playoff contenders, or how many Super Bowl teams, aspiring Super Bowl teams have a 1. You know what I mean? So I guess if you just rephrase it, because I mean the Giants don't have a 1, but they stink. You know what I mean? So I mean you can continue to go. I'm sure you could find a couple more.
But that's the point.
Yeah, no. I wasn't arguing with Tom. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just a rewording of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I meant more like
just a smart comment out of Nigel Ted, right?
Yeah, I meant more like that. That really special quarterback, or really good quarterback, or that doesn't have it. But you're right, the rewording of it. Yeah, I mean, any legit contender playoff team, most likely has a really good quarterback and a really good legitimate one. I mean, I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me who that is on this roster on the outside. People want to tell me about Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. I'm not talking about over the middle and stuff like that. I'm talking about on the out fucking side. I love good tight ends. Don't get me wrong, but I need guys on the outside. And now I watched CeeDee Lamb go for 100 today. I freaking hate CeeDee Lamb, and now he goes for 100 today. Right? I watched Jerry Jeudy. Like I get it, he dropped the ball, right? Blah 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 blah. But again, a special route runner, and to see these guys go right before us. And then, it's not a shot at Jalen, but like, is he that one in the future? Does he look like that guy? I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I'd say.
It's so tough. But when you see these other guys productive early, like CD, you're like, oh shit. You know what I mean? You're like, here we go. Now our guy's not going to be good enough because not everybody's going to be good. And here we go. Here we go. Yeah, missing again.
You're right. And like I said, it just, and if you don't, let's say like in the case of the Ravens, like the Ravens don't, but the Ravens are the best running football team in the league. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it opens up all kinds of lanes. You can just have a couple guys to throw to because guys are running wide open. You know what I mean? So to your point,
to stop Lamar running sweeps.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, it's that's special. Yeah, exactly. That's why
I'm saying. But like everyone's open there.
Yeah.
Action, everybody's open.
Yeah, right.
That's throwing dimes out here.
Yeah, total special circumstance. You know what I mean? So they're in their own class. See you, Julio. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, Julio, no problem. Glad you enjoyed it, brother. Thanks for jumping.
Oh, that was him on Saturday. I didn't put the 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
I saw someone hopped on. I didn't realize it was Julio. That's awesome, man.
Beautiful.
Julio's actually a guy who can ball in football.
Again, brother.
Just a different football.
Talk.
You know what
the true football.
Yeah, he can ball in football. If you can kick Julio, I mean, you probably kick it longer than 53. Jake Elliott couldn't. So gave him a lot of money. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, John. I mean, he stinks too.
Harrison Butker made like 4 straight from 57 today. Did you see that? They made him keep kicking it over and over. The kicker,
he
buried it every time.
Yeah.
Bing, bing, bing.
Amazing.
That's nice to have.
258 yarders too. He's decent.
Yeah, he's all right. And he banged the 53
He'll make
right
it.
before that for the penalty. He's all right.
Yep.
So if anybody's just joining us, we want to know, do our poll the Eagles will still make the playoffs? We have 2 agrees and 2 disagrees. Left side on your screen. Agreed. The right side.
Strong side.
How fast that changed.
Hey,
You set up
the camera.
pretty nice. or DeAndre Hopkins as well. You can throw that in there because we didn't want to give up 53 for DeAndre, reportedly. Yep.
I mean,
That'll
I think
age well.
Devontae Adams is a 1, though.
Yeah,
I hear you, but he's had injuries, right?
TTP, we love you, buddy. And I'm not saying I'm like, I think Devontae Adams is pretty sweet. You know what I mean? I think in those, I mean, I didn't know that stat, but I mean, I think Devontae's very good. Not saying he doesn't think he is.
But now you guys are coming to me, Rob and TTP. Now you're coming to me with, like, first of all, I think Adams is a 1, but you're still coming to me, Rob. I mean, Ben's had Antonio for years. I mean, now we're just going to overlook it because of 1 year with Juju. Like, come on. I mean,
Ben was hurt last year.
Yeah, that's not even a fair comparison. And plus, he's a big time freaking vet. You know what I mean? Like, plus, he's a big time vet. But
Juju's pretty good too.
Juju looks like a 1.
Juju be our 1.
I mean, Juju had 100 catches his first year with Ben, and then hasn't played with him since. So
yeah, the 3 tomato cans last year just couldn't get him the ball. You know what I mean? But,
Deshaw, he disagrees to the poll, and I understand it. I understand that people will disagree. I mean, nothing so far this year, at 8 quarters has proved otherwise. So it's fair. You know what I mean? Completely fair for people not to agree. But still have hope. You can disagree and still have the hope that it gets turned around. Yeah. Sometimes it's fun being wrong when it comes to stuff like that. Sometimes you almost want to be.
Fuck it.
Did I enjoy it, Jeremy?
The one thing we can hang our hat on, Tom, and the one thing I'll try to say out there to everybody that's like on the ledge and thinking about jumping is somebody from this division has to make the playoffs. And I think you watch the games today, everybody's got problems. All right, Dallas didn't look good today. I know Dallas squeaked the win out, but Dallas didn't look good. Everybody's got issues. So
yeah, but they can score points though. They can score points. We're struggling to score points.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping. Listen, Greg, I've already said this. I'm expecting a lot better Carson going forward, and if he's
I agree with you.
So.
No, I completely agree with you. But as of right now, even though they're 1-1, they still scored a bunch of points. Where we put up 19-17,
offense, Greg, but
yeah,
their defense it looks bad, and they're not.
No, you're right.
Well, Dak's throwing the ball over the place. They're not running the ball well.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, so much TTP is based on next week.
Well, if we lose next week, I mean, I would say we're probably not going to make the playoffs. I would agree to the poll then.
Like I always say, I don't care how you win next week. You just got to win and get that feeling, and then things can go up from there. You know what I mean? Ted says, I'll say yes because there's only 3 months left in this shit year. Niners lost 2 starting DNs, and their quarterback something got to give. I'm not giving up, and you got a lot of people like that, and there's people on the other side. And listen, both are acceptable. You know what I mean? Because tonight's not a night. Tonight's a really agree to disagree night. Because tonight's not a night where if you say disagree, I can argue it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love to argue. Yeah. Tonight's not a night I can argue it. I got to be fair. I'm just trying to be optimistic because the second I lose hope, this is what we do. This is what we do. I mean, we talk sports. The second I lose hope is the second it becomes unfun. I never wanted to become unfun. Now, you lose next week, the hope goes away real fast. Ryan says,
oh, sorry, but I'm sorry. Just like Wilson was saying earlier, just to TTP's point. I mean, I had to look it up, TP, because he had me spinning. But like I said, Wilson was right. I mean, 4 seasons, he's right there, and he's last year, Devontae Adams missed 4 games and had 997. All right, 1 year he had 997 twice, and then 885, and he missed a lot of games, and he's a touchdown machine. So, sorry, TTP. Devontae Adams, #1 receiver.
So what we learned is it's a really isn't that guy. I mean, like the one guy is like Russell Wilson, we can say, and he's had really good ones. You know what I mean? Maybe not #1s, but really productive guys. I mean, Doug Baldwin was productive for a long ass time. You know, Tyler Lockett now.
Russell Wilson's maybe the best quarterback in the league right now, in my opinion. So,
well, look at the two baseball guys. I mean, look at the two baseball guys, Wilson and Mahomes. I mean, who spins it better, really, besides Rodgers?
And
Kyler. You know what I mean? Them guys are flat out spinning it. Now I got to look for baseball pedigree. Now I'm in a whole nother direction. If I'm Howie Roseman, I'm looking at like 14-year-olds who double dip. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting deep in. You know, now I'm looking for that next gunslinger. Maybe the guy who was it from the White Sox throwing 102, 101? No, the Pirates, right? His first start.
The White Sox have one.
My bad.
Happens.
What's going on?
Yeah. The
All
game
right.
on my phone. I had to hit mute on my phone.
Who has a better chance to make the playoffs, Eagles or Phillies? Well, right now it looks like the Phillies, and that's not saying a lot.
The Phillies because they're in already, or currently right now.
Don't say they're in already. Christ. Hopefully
Uncle Mush.
Harper was just having back stiffness, so hopefully that's nothing.
Yeah.
We're gonna win. We had to win some games this week for the Phillies.
Dean.
We gotta win some games.
Dean, I can't agree with you more. I mean, I say Phillies too. Dean, I can't agree with you more. Carson doesn't trust his receivers, and it shows. I feel that watching it a little bit. I feel it watching it, but you know, you got to get that right. And especially when you got like Sweeps like to say, you know, I love the tomato can. I mean, you got one this week. You know, essentially. I mean, they're better because they got their quarterback of the future. But I mean, come on, let's be real. I mean, this is the worst team in football last year. If you can't beat them, then it's over anyway.
Yeah.
Except because you're 0-3, and it's over because you lost to Washington and the Bengals.
Yeah, that's it.
You know,
Hey, Pot's right. Yeah, that's it. I'm going on break.
Time's yours.
Absolutely.
you all are right. I forgot about the injuries. Yeah, it's no biggie, bro.
By the way, DK Metcalf is trending.
TTP, you're our guy, bro. You're our guy,
number
TTP.
one receiver.
Fucking had to look it up, pal. you had me thinking. You had me thinking. Had me doubting my eyeballs. You had me doubting my eyeballs there, TTP. We appreciate that.
It was like every time I watch him, he's all he does is catch footballs.
What'd you say, Walsh?
I said DK Metcalf is trending toward number one receiver.
Keep shoving that into our backs for us. Appreciate that.
Yep, working on the best corner. Yep.
I didn't draft J. Jaw or JJ Whiteside. Sorry, I forgot. No more J. Jaw.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like saying the whole name, so he's still always going to be J. Jaw.
I hear you. Awful name. We should just not refer to him anymore. The receiver we don't refer to.
JJ.
So we have breaking news according to Brian, and we heard it here first. Playing by week 7, so that's fine.
Well, what's funny is before we did the Jaws interview, I obviously had the Eagles, Carson on, and I had to get up to do something, and I came back, and Jaws goes, "Hey, Greg, are you going to have a number 2 jersey on here in 2 weeks?" And I said, "Absolutely not." He goes, "Good. We don't want any front runners." So even he doesn't even want them.
No, I mean anybody with a pulse want them. Eagles fans saying tank for Trevor. No, I'm not tanking for Trevor. I'm tanking. I would tank for the best defensive player on the board. Or tank for if I'm losing, then I want the best freaking wide receiver in the draft. You know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. So I'm not losing for a quarterback. I don't know. I mean, I guess if we're losing out, then he's playing really bad or he's hurt again. But then we just draft one in the second round. So, I don't know. Wouldn't that be their next guy up? I don't know. I can't get in these guys' heads. Kristen says,
even if Jalen is here, it's still tank for Trevor.
No, always is. So, you boys want to get in a little Phils? A little baseball talk?
Yeah, final week stretches. It's here.
7 games left, right? 7 games
yeah,
left.
it's-
27, 26.
It's kind of staggered. Yeah, it's staggered for everybody. But yeah, close. Let's call it. Yeah, let's call it a week, like you said. It's close. You know what I mean? For most people, yeah, it's 53, anywhere from 53, 52.
I mean, it is a week. We got 7 games left, I think.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the COVID teams. That's all.
Oh,
The Cardinals don't have 7 games left. You know what I mean?
They have 9, I think. They're not far behind.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah, it's close. I think they looks like they didn't make up 2 games, at least on the schedule I saw. You know what I mean? So I don't know if they're going to make them, if it's that close, if they're going to make them, force them to play those games. You know what I mean? Or if they're just
For
gonna
Washington,
go by
for
winning
Tampa Bay.
go by winning percentage. So we'll see. Yeah, final week of the 60 game banger, boys. So we will see.
The one nice thing about Washington, though, is as of right now, no Scherzer and no Corbin. So that's nice to not have to see them in those
Scherzer
4
pitched
games.
today, so we're not going to see him.
Right. No Scherzer and no Corbin.
Listen, we got to beat Washington.
Tomorrow's
simple.
Wheeler Sanchez.
We got to beat Washington, and you figure what is it? Wheeler tomorrow, then Nola, or
yeah, it's Wheeler, Nola, and then the second game of the doubleheader on Tuesday. So that'll probably be a bullpen game, and then
so
Eflin.
I would think that we're probably going to see Wheeler and Nola both 2 times in this last 7 games.
Yes. You see
we need
Wheeler
them to win
versus
all 4 of them games. It's that simple. We need them to win all 4 of them games, and then we win one other one. We go 5-2. We make the playoffs.
I feel like Nola just went. Is he due up? I mean, I know
Tuesday.
Okay, yeah, that's great. I didn't realize. I thought he might have went.
He goes Tuesday, Sunday. Wheeler goes Monday, Saturday.
Yep.
Gotcha. So yeah, he probably went Thursday. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yep. That's about right. I know he went later in the week. You know what I mean? So that's why I was wondering when he exactly went. That's right. I didn't know if he went Friday.
And Sunday, obviously, Tampa Bay is that last game of the year again. Noah on the bump for what could be a playoff position. You know what I mean?
Probably most likely is the way it's shaped out. You know what I mean? Like,
looks like JT is going to come back this week too, which we need.
You would hope so. And now we got to deal with Harper in the back, which is never a fun thing.
Yeah, hopefully he's all right. I mean, we'll see, but hopefully he's okay.
Have a lot of kids in the lineup.
We just need the young guys to hit. They're going to be playing. Boom's been playing great. Looks like Moniak, Kingery, Hazley, they're all going to be in the lineup a lot down the stretch here. So maybe get some hits.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're set up to go to the playoffs. Tristan said, "Is it even worth it?" Yeah, it's always worth it. It's always worth it getting the dance because you don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Well, listen, it's a best of 3, the first series, and we got 2 good pitchers. So if we can get there, you never know.
Yeah, and you'd have to think too, just getting to the playoffs potentially gets you Reese back, right? You know what I mean? It gets you some more stability. And then maybe Arrieta comes back from that. And I'm saying not that he's great, but I'd at least trust him if we had to go to a game 3 with him, versus Eflin or Velasquez.
Be using Eflin as the 3, right? I would assume.
Right now, yeah.
Listen, I don't hate Zach. I think Zach sometimes loses his control and people hit him hard, but he does have pretty good stuff, and we're going to need Zach to pitch well here down the stretch. So
yeah,
and then
and somehow get out of the bullpen. I don't know how, but somehow.
Dom's been great. I mean, obviously he's a rookie, so you need to put so much on his plate. You know what I mean? Just to answer Brink's question. I mean, obviously you're missing. Harp and JT, obviously, that's huge. Obviously, they're huge losses. You know what I mean? But if you're looking for somebody to step up, and Baum's been great. Didi's had a solid year. Gene looks like he's starting to, Gene's swinging it better. And if you're going to be missing JT, I mean, Napper's, it's one of the best of his career. You know what I mean? Like, not that you want to hang your hat on that. You know what I mean? Couldn't get any worse from being complete horseshit.
Almost to the point where he should DH Sweeps.
Yeah,
like if JT's back catching, maybe Knapp should DH because Knapp has swung the bat well.
Yeah. And you got to remember you got another veteran in McCutcheon, so you have veterans out there, with these young kids. So it's not like it's all just like puppies running around. I think it's a good mix. It's a good mix, and I agree with Rob. I mean, Hazley should play.
I do like Hazley. Yep, I do.
I mean, I don't understand why he doesn't. He's the 7th pick of the draft. That's a guy. If he's up here, he plays. I mean, Moniak. I understand he might get some run now, even more because Hart might be out for a game, maybe. So he might get some run tomorrow. So I mean, to me, I like what they have offensively, even with the young kids in there. I truly do. I think they can swing it. They've swung it. I mean, especially Alec. I mean, he's flat out, almost overachieved.
He's a pup.
Like early on, and I don't say overachieved because we expected him to be good. You know what I mean? But not like that fast. So like, you just get in. You just get in and you see where it takes you. But I agree with you guys with Noah and Wheeler on the mound. I mean, our bullpen stinks, so I'm not confident about shit. But like, just get in. Just get in. Maybe you got hit some people. Maybe your bats get hot for 2 weeks. You never know. Maybe you're putting up 8 runs a game in the cold weather. But
well, it won't be cold. I think they're going to be in.
They're going to be bubble.
Texas, so it'll be warm weather.
Hitting season, Greg. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's not at first though. You have to win to get there.
You have to win the first one, right?
The first round. I'm sorry, you're right. First round is home, right?
Yeah, or maybe just the first round. Yeah, it's at home, or it's the better.
It's at the higher team seed, so we'd be on the road. Yeah. But real quick to Hazley, I'm kind of shocked. I don't know about you guys. I'm just kind of shocked that power hasn't shown. You know what I mean? He hits a lot of obviously he's batting right around 300, so he's putting balls in play. And Hazley.
Oh yeah.
I'm just shocked though. There's been no power. And
young,
I don't.
Greg. You hope the doubles will turn into homers later on. But yeah, he's young. He does handle the bat pretty well, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He was always exactly. At UVA, he wasn't a big power guy, even with the aluminum bat. You know what I mean? But he's high average guy. You know what I mean? So you see.
I'll take the 300 doubles.
Yeah, exactly. You expect him to lose some balls. To run into some balls, of course.
He calls the shots, Len.
we're just
another thing, Brink. I've done more today than Brink's done in 2 weeks. So I mean, you do one show a week, babe. This is like my 5th and an interview beforehand. And a lot of running around. So you couldn't hold my jock strap in the talking ring, Robbie. All right, this is what that be known to the people. Have a good show tomorrow night, pal. I'm sure.
But you'll see. I mean, but to answer that other guy's question, I mean, listen, everybody looked at things different. But I mean, if you're a fan and you don't want to get in the playoffs, or just because you're down on the team or the team's not, you don't think they can win it all or whatever. That's just, and I don't know why you watch or why you're a fan. You know what I mean? Like in every team you root for, you want your team to get in the playoffs. I mean, you have a shot. You can get hot. You know what I mean? Like I said, especially baseball. It's so, things are so weird. You got two frontline arms. You know what I mean? So that's a good resume there. Obviously, the back end. We know the pen issues. You know what I mean? But if those, it's in playoff time, those guys eat up 8. You might only need to get 3 out. You know what I mean? And you can see that those two have stretched out as the year went on. So they no reason those two guys can't give you 8. And you see if you can piece the 9th together. You know what I mean? So to have 2 horses, in the front of your rotation like that, and if you could get healthy, lineup wise, of course they can make some, they can make some noise. Anybody can. All you ever want is a ticket to the dance. You know what I mean? You get your ticket punched. Excuse me. And you got a chance. You know what I mean? You got a puncher's chance if you get in.
That's what we said about the Eagles too. Like last year, just get in. You never know. It didn't go our way, but you just never know. All right, Rob.
Marcus
Paul Adams, decent player, by the way.
So D'Antoni is expected to be named the next head coach of the Indiana Pacers. So he's saying, Marcus is saying, that's great news for us. So
absolutely,
and he's spot on. I mean, nobody on this panel wanted any parts of D'Antoni. So we're all happy. And
we've seen that. We've seen that one. 50 plus.
I agree with your names too, Marcus.
We've seen it.
Yeah, you're right, Wells. And Marcus, we agree with you. I mean, Cassell and Billy Donovan are 2 names we spoke about.
Oh,
a lot.
You get in?
That's a great ball. Nah, he's short. That's a great ball.
Give me a pick.
That was a great ball.
Great ball.
Tristan, tomorrow he's coming for the visit.
Is his meeting?
Dean saying, damn Seahawks defense are dropping like flies. And then John says, a little off topic, but why are all the injuries across the league today? I mean, I think that.
Well, I think no preseason maybe is a partial part of it, but also
no real training camp either. But also training camp was different too. You know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of, contact during training camps. They were trying to be safe with it and stuff like that. So I think that all plays a part into what we're seeing injury-wise.
I'd agree, Greg.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, we live in a generation now that, necessarily, that's where some guys get confused. You know what I mean? Like, we live in a generation where it's bigger, stronger, faster now, right? That doesn't always mean better, right? But it also means that can lead to some of these, nagging injuries, because these guys have muscle upon muscle. You know what I mean? Like, back in the day, when you had Crocker and drinking a 30-pack and Dykstra, they're smoking heaters in between innings. You know what I mean? Like, those guys couldn't pull anything. They didn't have anything to pull. Until Nail started juicing his face off. And that's when he started getting banged up, I don't know. I hear you, but it's obviously in the Philadelphia area. It seems to be very prevalent. I mean, in all four teams, it's unbelievable. Yeah. It really is.
Lot of injuries. Obviously, the San Fran suffered a bunch today. Saquon went down. A lot of injuries today. And like we said, I think I agree with what both of you just said. No preseason training camp, not a lot of hitting with the COVID precautions and shit. So I guess that's obviously part of it. And then also, like we say, NFL's a 100% injury league. Guys get hurt. It's a physical game.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate when guys tear knees and shit. And apparently the Niners are really complaining about the turf up there in the Meadowlands. So the new turf, apparently their feet were getting stuck, and that's how you hurt knees. Your feet get stuck in the turf. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see.
Jimmy Hoffa coming out and grabbing legs.
Jimmy.
They're saying that it's nowhere. People are saying it's nowhere on Twitter. The Antonio News. Marcus says he saw it on Twitter. So
yeah, I just Googled it when I saw that comment, and I didn't see anything.
We'll see.
But I'm down.
Yeah, as long as it ain't us.
Regardless, we're in. All right, so Tristan guarantees the Giants sign Freeman instead of us. That's a good possibility. Crumb in a week, boys. I was gonna say he doesn't have one.
No, I'm trying to think. I had one last week and we didn't do it, but and I forget what it was. It's probably still relevant.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, right,
jump on it.
To me, it's Howie Roseman with the construction of this team. We saw, especially more last week than this week, right? But we saw, and Devontae Freeman is now finally here. Why wasn't this done in the offseason? Why did we go in with the running back room the way it was? Obviously, Miles is special, or he looks to be special. Played decent today, but why after that do we there? And then you go to the linebackers. Today, they were trashed. You know what I mean? So, again, I know we've harped on Howie for a while, but last week, when we were going into it, it was on the tip of the mind, and today it was on the tip of the mind for the other side, right? Last week was more running backs. This week is more linebackers. But both. We didn't address it well enough in the offseason. We all knew, though, that the holes were there. You know what I mean? Outside of Miles Sanders, you had a bunch of guys that we all might like as guys, but they're just guys. There's no depth, and we saw that last week. Now, we saw the difference with Miles and Lane back and what that running back room, or at least what Miles looks like, and it elevates what Boston does too. But it still there wasn't talent. There wasn't a deep run of talent and stuff back there. And then, of course, like I said, the linebackers, the LA Rams just trashed us in the middle of the field. And that's now on tape, and that's now going to have to be addressed every week.
Yeah, I mean, should have been addressed a long time ago.
You good? Yeah, for me, it's the whole Clippers organization. I mean, it just 3-1 lead, fantastic. Couldn't happen to a better bunch of clowns, really. I mean, they were making fun of the Nuggets and calling them soft and all this stuff, and it was rainbows and everything when they were up 3-1. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, Nuggets grabbed Game 5, and then it started. Okay, and then Game 6, and their assholes got tight, and then an absolute shit performance. They blew like 2 17-point leads, I think, in Game 6 and Game 7, or I don't know if 17 got that high, but
no, I think you're right.
You know what I mean? So just an absolute, like I said, absolute disgrace. All that talent, you know what I mean? Like, Will's covered that, a while ago, his hatred for them, with the whole, like I said, just, with the whole Paul George thing. I don't like the way that went down. You know what I mean? They forced the hand right there so you can, another, so superstars can reunite and hold hands and, and quote, get to the finish line together, you know what I mean? And Kawhi, you're their best player, and that's on you. You were horseshit in Game 7. You were nowhere to be found. I mean, it's, the rest of your teammates.
Could not be horseshit in Toronto.
You were nowhere to be found, you know what I mean? You wanted to put your handprint on that and, get a chance at the Lakers and, see who's the best team in LA, blah, 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 a locker room or a hallway series. And you never, you kept looking ahead, and then, the Nuggets smacked you right in the mouth. You know what I mean? So, Crumb of the week, Clippers organization.
Would have been nice for Kawhi to go shit burgers last year, but
we'd have fucked it up, Greg. Yeah, I'm gonna echo you, Sweeps. I'm gonna go straight at Kawhi and Paul George because me and Greg scored the same amount of points they did in fourth quarter, Game 7 combined.
Let's go.
So, where the fuck are you, playoff P? Where are you? I know Paul George has a history of shrinking in the playoffs, and he did it again. And I love the fact for Crumb of the week, I would say like star of the week is Jokic and Murray, because I love the way they played, especially the last 3 games of that series. They played spectacular basketball, and they took it to the Clippers, which is what you got to do. And I'm strictly looking at Kawhi and Paul George here because you're the best players, you're the leaders, and you played like shit, and that's why you got beat.
Yeah, mine's simple. It's the defensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles. We talk about the highest paid front in football. 191 yards. I mean, home. I don't care. There's no fans. You're in your own bed. You're in that routine. You got to put up a better effort than you did today. And you got to be a carrier when that's where your money's at. So your money is tied up front on this football team, the majority of it, and then in the quarterback position. So you need them 2 places to step up and play good football. The offensive line stepped up today. Thought they played good football. But the defensive line took a major step back, and that's about 6 quarters of them not playing good football. So they got to clean that up and get that right. And we just need some of our big money guys to start making plays on the other side of the football. So that's all I got for bed because I'm shocked. You can tell by the voice. There's not a lot left.
Minute 55 for Cam, too. I mean, they win this game. Seattle shit right down their legs.
Oh, my God. So
fourth and one. They try to throw a little – missed a 4th and 1 right there.
Love the fact that it's a 5-point lead, though. I'll tell you that.
And 3rd and 1. I'm sorry. Missed the 3rd and 1.
Wouldn't hate a turnover. Wouldn't hate a turnover. Someone might have Seattle -4. Maybe.
Yeah, I think 3 of us do, Greg. So,
yeah.
Right.
And obviously, speaking of this, sorry to cut you off. Speaking of this game, we're on our way out, but little rest in peace. James White lost his dad today, and this morning, and mom's in the hospital, not doing well. So
critical
prayers to James White and his family. I mean, just absolute terrible day for him, and like I said, our condolences, and like I said, we're praying for you, buddy.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely, terrible.
Yeah, that's tough.
I almost changed my pick to the Patriots after I heard it. Expected a good effort, and they gave one for all.
Yeah, they're giving it. Yeah,
all the guys are missing, and credit to Cam.
They're tremendously coached, so you expected that game in and game out.
Yeah, and I got to give credit to Cam. You know what I mean? Play good football, even in a loss, even if they lose tonight, he's played good football over 2 weeks. Probably throw a pick right now. Nope, go ball again.
No, yes.
Our quarterback struggling, and this is happening. All right, so this is great.
Kill Harry. He was drafted after us too.
Everybody's open, but our guys. I mean, the whole league is fucking running wide open, and our guys. I don't know what's going on. Like, watch, somebody will be wide open right now. No, he wasn't too wide open. Listen, great time tonight. if you're just joining in, you can go back and listen everywhere, and as well as everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. But we stay up on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. It's always there. So come check us out. We got live shows daily. Yeah, we love all you.
And everyone that's down, we're down with you, but you got to dust yourself off. You go back to work, and we got to get a fucking win next week. So let's go.
Yeah, I'm hoping next week when we're on, it's a better vibe regardless on how they play. As long as that's a win. You know what I mean? Like even if it's a little sloppy, I think we're all going to be like, okay, well we got one. You gotta start somewhere. A win's a win. So we're begging for it anyway. Not asking a lot. Everybody joined us. The names, so many guys and ladies. We appreciate you all. Keep chiming in. Listen, get your alerts on for A2D and all the live shows. If you want a lot of negativity, maybe tomorrow night. I mean, I would suggest you go with this man right here and Rob Brinkman and the Sports Hounds. But yeah, shows all time. Yusuf, Tristan, John,
Brinks Lock was real well today.
We appreciate you all. Don, all you guys. Tristan, there's so many names we could do.
Yeah, thank you all.
Yep.
We love you.
You guys run the show.
Doc. Thanks to our doc. Got to make them yours. Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. For Tom Arnone, Nick DelGozzo, Brian Wilson, Greg Milakovic, and everybody
Like, share, subscribe.
Yes, sir. And for Ron Jaworski, we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks, Jaws.
Great insight, like always, from Jaws. And go check it out. And check out ours.
The original Jaws, not J Jaws.
I don't like that.
And we might get him back in a couple weeks.
Yes, he said after week 4. Yep.
After week 4, we might get him back.
Yep, after week 4.
Two at that point.
He has as many catches as J Jaws.
Oh, that's a late flag there. Late flag.
Oh.
Yeah, they won New England. Here we go. They're back. All right. Fuck you, Wells. Might be right.